aka the Principal Painter, and I am back with my WIP and Chat on lovely Lumina. A little bit of news, Mystria Diamonds, and go check out her channel. She is awesome. She's collabing with me on this particular project. We've decided to extend our WIP and Chats out another week because neither one of us are, well, she's farther than me, but I'm not even halfway close to being done. So I want to show you some more progress. This is my progress on her. I have had so much fun blinging her out with Tina Burney at Diamond Painting with Sparklers. That's her website. She is linked below. Had a whole bunch of substitutions in this, but I wanted to show you really quick my progress on her. I'm making progress. I ended up spending 2 hours on these two lamps, pulling up the drills and putting down, excuse me, neons. You know, it's funny, when you're substituting out sparklers and neons and everything else, it's helpful if you have a holistic view of the canvas. I get so just super tunnel visioned on the area that I'm working on that I don't know, oh, I've started on another area. Like her bracelets, I had to pick out drills and put more sparklers and neons and glow glass in her bracelets to make them sparkle a little bit more because I didn't know I was there. I was just putting down the drills. So when you are subbing out drills, just know where you are and kind of take a step back every once in a while and look holistically at the painting. That will help you sub out more effectively. All right, so Mystria and I are talking about school, being educators, and all of that. Whoops, excuse me. And if you stick with me till the end, I've got another giveaway to give away at the end of the video. So my son did a thing last night. He graduated from high school. Graduations have been very different this year due to everything that's going on, but I thought the graduation was absolutely fantastic. I've gotten teary more than once, but he graduated from high school last night. I was so stinking proud of him. He did a great job. He made it. And he is, sorry, got an extra drill there. He is actually going to university. There is a program that's a partnership between HCC, which is Houston Community College, and Texas A&M, and he wants to go into engineering. And so the program is, and thank you, oh my gosh, for the love of Pete, my counselor told me about the program, and it's awesome, and it's awesome for him too, because he's got a little bit more soul than he can control. So I wasn't just gonna send him to a major university without making sure he knew how to study, he knew how to, get it done with, in college, the professors don't care if you're in class. You've paid your money and, you better get it done. So he is going to spend 2 years at Houston Community College, and there are actually professors from Texas A&M that come in and help the kids with their engineering program, and actually it saves me $19,000. $19,000 to do this instead of him going to Texas A&M for 4 years. But then, so first 2 years, Houston Community College, last 2 years, Texas A&M. And he gets a degree from Texas A&M in engineering, which pretty much he can write his own ticket. So I'm really proud of him. He's always been a little bit of a tinkerer, likes taking stuff apart, putting stuff back together, and he really wants to do engineering. So I'm very, very proud of him. My last little chickadee has left the nest. That's it for me. Oof, kind of hard, but so proud of him and his accomplishments and what he's done and what he will do in the world. So that is so exciting. The funny part is I was sitting at graduation last night, it kind of gave me some motivation to talk to you this evening about teachers that have made a difference in my life and really inspired me. growing up. You know, I'm not a principal for nothing. I had amazing teachers that helped me and helped me grow and saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And last night at the graduation, the teachers, you know, obviously all couldn't be there. It was outside. They were, social distancing. Are you kidding me? So the audience was social distanced. I really was very proud of the way that my district handled it. We sat down on the bleachers. It was it's an outdoor stadium, football stadium, and there were actually stickers helping us to social distance, and so we could only sit forward a place, and then it moved way down, and there were 4 more other stickers. And if your butt wasn't on a sticker, you were in the wrong spot. So, and then the bleachers themselves, or the seating, there was a row ahead of us. No one was there because there were no stickers on that row. So they had distanced us forwards, backwards, everywhere. But then I looked down at the football field where all the graduates are. Are they social distancing? Heck no. They're hugging, high-fiving. And at first, I was kind of, wow. They had said over the PA system, please social distance, please make sure that you're doing what you need to be doing. And none of the kids were. And then I had a thought. None of these kids have seen each other since the beginning of March. Like, they're, you know, it's an exciting time for them, and they're having a great time, and, you know, they're graduating, they made it, they made it through everything. And remember, the class of 2020 is a special class. They have made it. They were born in the shadow of 9/11. They made it through floods, hurricanes, they made it through Harvey, and now they're dealing with this. So they're a pretty special group, and I again will forever just be going, oh my gosh, how did they do it? And they did it with smiles. They got a line, they did it, and last night was no different. They were all just so excited to be able to graduate and be able to be honored in that way. And I was really proud to watch my son walk the stage, and I was, of course, a crazy, screaming banshee at that point. Yeah. I probably embarrassed him 10 times over. But the teachers, all that I guess volunteered, wanted to, all did videos to congratulate the graduates. And you could completely tell the teachers that were absolutely loved, revered by the kids. They were screaming, what have you. There were some, though, that I thought, oh my gosh, if I have to be in your class, it's like watching paint dry on a wall. I couldn't do it. So, you know, I always tell my staff, be the teacher that when a child gets their schedule and they see your name on the schedule, they think they've won the teacher lottery. And I actually had my teachers do a little writing exercise in one of my professional developments with them. And what makes a teacher that always gets requested, always, you know, the kids always want to have, always, you know, want to be in their class. Their parents are calling me and going, please let my child be in this teacher's classroom. If you do anything, can you please do it? And the answers were interesting. The answers were very interesting, but I think it made the teachers kind of give pause because, wow, you know, I might not be the teacher lottery for some kids. I might not be that teacher that kids really want. Well, maybe be introspective and become that teacher. And anyone's capable of doing it. It's just, you know, enthusiasm, love for your kids, passion for what you do. And I truly believe that if you don't have passion for what you do professionally, okay, I'm eating some more wax. You know, it's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for the kids. So anyway, I talk about passion a lot because you can't learn that. You can't find it in a book. You can't find it anywhere. I tell teachers all the time, I can teach you anything. I can teach you curriculum. I can teach you specific teaching techniques. I can't teach you how to have a heart for what you do. You just got to have that. That's that it factor. You just got to have it. So that was bittersweet. I was like, oh, really? Oh. Let's see, what was I, 30? Okay. And, you know, again, made me very proud to watch my baby, and that's my last little chickadee out of the nest. So I was very proud to watch him walk across that stage and get his diploma. Oh. And again, watching those teachers, it made me think of a topic to speak with you about this evening. And it's about teachers that have inspired me and why they inspired me. And I have, fortunately, in my life, I have been very blessed to have several that have been or had the it factor. Any more pluses? Nope. So I will start off, again, growing up, I was in kindergarten through first grade at international school in Bangkok, Thailand. And I still remember that experience. And a lot of people don't remember their younger years that young, but I do. And I remember it because of my kindergarten teacher. Her name was Mrs. Mintpoo, and she was Thai, and she was fantastic. She absolutely was the most loving person ever, just helped us, laughed with us, laughed at our quirkiness as kindergartners, and I'll never forget that. And she took us to Thai classes. She just did so many fun projects. I remember a project that she did with us. And again, not many people remember. I mean, I'm 52 years old. I don't remember a lot about my young years. But I remember on the first day of school, Mrs. Mintpoo gave us each a ball of clay. And we were going, okay, what are we doing with this ball of clay? And she was like, okay. She said, go ahead and start playing with the ball of clay. Knead it, mash it up, whatever you need to do. And she said, if the clay changes colors, you're gonna have a fantastic year in kindergarten. And so I start kneading my clay, playing with it. Well, every single ball of clay she handed out to all of us changed colors. And unbeknownst to us, she had put food coloring that we couldn't see in the middle of the clay. And it was like Play-Doh, you know, that kind of thing, but it changed colors and we thought it was magical. It was awesome. And we were like, we're gonna have a terrific year in kindergarten, yay. I'll never forget that. I'm like, oh, mine's changing colors. And someone else said, mine's changing colors. And I'm going, I know, this is gonna be so fun. So it's just little extras like that that can make kids' day. I mean, it's just, that was so much fun. And again, that was my kindergarten year, and I'm 52 and I still remember it. And I have told my teachers so many times, especially kindergarten teachers, this is the activity that my kindergarten teacher did, and they're like, can we steal that? Yes, steal it. It's awesome. So that was kindergarten. Then in second grade, I moved. We moved to Houston, Texas, and I went to elementary there, and that is where I met Marlon. I met my hubby. And we knew each other, and we were in class together, and, you know, but I just think it's awesome that I've known my husband since second grade. And my elementary that I attended was open concept, so it was a little bit different than what I was used to. And, you know, we had bookcases separating our classrooms and chalkboards and that sort of thing, and you could hear everything. But I think it taught me how to pay attention more and, again, be more aware of what people were saying and everything else, because believe me, I am, you know, you can get my attention pretty quickly. Ask Marlon. Marlon's like, did you even just hear what I said? And I'll be, no, sorry. But that taught me really in college when I was trying to study and people were playing music and playing video games and all that, I could focus, and it helped me with that. But we had teams, so there were 3 to 4 classrooms on it was a little pod. And again, the classrooms were separated by bookshelves and everything else. And we had names for our teams. And I remember it was 1976 when I was in second grade. And I went home, and I will tell you, I get a lot of my creativity from my mother, but I get a lot from my dad as well. He's pretty darn smart. And I said, oh my gosh, Dad, we're voting on our team name tomorrow. I've got to come up with a name for people to vote on. And he said, the Patriots. Not the football team, the Patriots. It was 1976. So I took the idea in, and this is my idea, the Patriots, and everyone loved it, and it got voted on, and it won. So our team for the entire year was named the Patriots, and I was like, that's my name. So I was excited for that. I bet Marlon didn't even know that. Anyhow. All right, so there were other teachers at elementary that really inspired me. My second grade teacher, her name was Mrs. DeLeon. Marlon, did you have Mrs. DeLeon?
Yes.
Marlon had Mrs. DeLeon too. I just remember her, again, my mom was big in PTA and all that, and I remember she had to be out because she was having a baby. And we were sad, but she contacted my mom one day after she had the baby. She was still on maternity leave, and said, why don't you and Kara come over to my house and she can see the baby? Oh my gosh, I thought that was the most fantastic thing. First of all, wait a minute. Mrs. DeLeon has a house. She has a baby. I thought teachers rolled up in the maps at night. I didn't realize that teachers had lives and everything else outside of school. So that was interesting, but that was a really cool experience for me to see Mrs. DeLeon and be able to see her baby. And we were all wondering about the baby because, again, you're in second grade, so that's what you do. So that was very memorable. And again, that showed me, again, one of my first favorite teachers. And believe me, she wasn't easy on me. She was tough, and she had some strict standards, and we had to stick to them. But to go over and see that baby really meant the world to me. So I was excited about that. Then, oh my gosh, fifth grade. Were we in the same fifth grade? We must have been in the same fifth grade pod together, Marlon. Did you have Miss Briley?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I had Mrs. Briley, and she, again, kind, sensitive. She introduced me to Island of the Blue Dolphins. If anyone is familiar with that book, I loved it. Did a massive project on it. Was very proud of it. Mrs. Briley is interesting. Again, not only was she one of my very favorite teachers, but when I first became a principal, again, 29 years of age, and I'm standing at a table and greeting my new teachers, and she walks up to me and she's like, Kara. And I'm like, Mrs. Briley, call me Linda. No, not gonna call you Linda, can't do that. And she was like, I still see you in there. I loved her, she was awesome. Then there were other teachers in my life that weren't in a classroom. Well, some of them were, some of them weren't, but I was a dancer when in my growing up years. Sorry, if you hear a noise in the background, that's Bella, she's thirsty. She's slopping water probably everywhere. I had a dance instructor named, well, we called her Miss Susie, so I'll call her Miss Susie. And she was awesome. She was great and just an inspiration. She's the one that took us to New York, and we got to dance with different companies and the like. And I remember her saying, we'd be in dance class together, and Miss Susie would say, look, people don't really care what your problem is. They've paid their money. You're going to give them a show. And so that is why sometimes when I have, events at school or whatever, that's just carried me throughout my life. Whenever I have major events at school or what have you, and I'm not feeling good or have a migraine or whatever, I still remember Miss Susie looking at me going, you know what? Show's got to go on. And these people have paid their money. You better give them a show. So that has always stuck with me. Then there was drill team in high school. You know, football is a religion in Texas, and you know, Friday night lights are a big deal. And I was on the drill team. My drill team director, man, she was a tough cookie, but I absolutely loved her, and she pushed me to do things that I never thought I could do. You know, you had to make your weight, you had to make the dance for the halftime show at the football game. And again, she was a tough bird, but I remain a friend of hers to this day because she's an awesome person. I actually had lunch with her, and Marlon and I have gone to have dinner with her recently, and it's just awesome to see these teachers that have inspired you and be able to tell them, you're an inspiration to me. And they're looking at me like, you're a principal. And I'm going, that doesn't matter. You turned me into the person I am today. You taught me tenacity. You taught me stick-with-itness. You taught me, you know, do more than you think you can do. And it's just nice that I've got those relationships. But my very favorite teacher of all time, and I have seen her. This was a teacher that I had when I was in Williamsburg, Virginia, and she was amazing. She was an English language arts teacher, which probably drove me to be an English language arts teacher, and she was Mrs. Blanchard, and she was the game changer for me, and she is the one that inspired me to go into education. Again, not a whole lot in her room, but she had a Miss Piggy poster, and she said, if you can read, she had a bumper sticker that said, if you can read this, thank a teacher. And I just absolutely loved her. Loved her. Would have done anything for her. My counselor was like, yeah, you're not high enough to be in her class. I said, I will, and I will make grades, and I did. But yeah, she, oops, I'm spilling wax on my tools. She was an inspiration to me, and can always continue to be. And I remember I visited my parents in Williamsburg right after I had just gotten to be a principal, and I took her the book by Patricia Polacco, Thank You, Mr. Faulkner. And we called her landlord. She had had a stroke at that point, and so she couldn't speak very well. And I said, I've got to see her. She means the world to me. She was my teacher. And the guy was like, you would not believe how many people have called about her. Like, what kind of teacher was she? She must have been a phenom. I said, she was. I said, I'm a building principal at this point, and I said, I am waiting to see her. So I wrote a note to her in the book and got to see her, and that was the coolest thing ever. Because again, she was the teacher that inspired my life. And let me tell you something. From talking to Brandy, she's that kind of teacher as well. She is an amazing teacher. She has so many preps. She does math. She does science. I mean, she doesn't say this, but I'm going to brag on her. And Mistria, if you don't like it, I'm so sorry. I'm going to brag on her for a minute. She teaches math. She teaches science. She has theater club. She doesn't get a stipend or extra pay for it. She just does it because the kids like it. I have never heard of a teacher that has as many preps as her. And she's like, yeah, I love it. And I'm going, oh my gosh, that is insane. Well, not insane. I think it's fabulous, but you know, it must take so much time on her part. But those are the teachers that motivate and inspire. And she talks to me about, you know, happenings in her classroom and kids that have come to her and everything else. And, you know, if I was a kid, I know I could go to her for sure. For sure. All right, folks, this is a relatively short whip and chat. I am completely beat because of graduation last night. We had, I don't know, close to 800 graduates. 800. That's a lot of names to get through. And I will tell you something very special about this graduation. Again, they're the class of 2020. I've told you about their trials and tribulations, but they've come through it beautifully. You know how when it's about to rain and you can smell it. You can smell it in the air. It's coming. And I looked at my dad and I went, Dad, it's gonna rain. Like, I can smell it's coming. Like, oh, and I'm praying the whole time. Lord, please just hold it off for 15 more minutes. We were on the W's, and I'm like, get this class graduated. Get them graduated. You know, they've asked for so little. They've been through so much. Just please let them all walk across the stage. Let's not please have this cut short. That wouldn't be fair. And God listened and listened to my prayer, and we literally got the last person graduated. The principal walks on the stage and takes a pregnant pause, and I'm like, Rick, wrap this up. It's gonna rain. It's gonna deluge. He did. We went outside, everybody was taking pictures, and it started sprinkling. Just sprinkling. And then they were like, bad storm coming. You people need to take your last pictures and get on your way. So we did. And by the time we got to the car, it was pouring rain. So, yeah, interesting evening. So I'm sorry to cut this short, folks, but, oh wait, I can't cut it that short. I've got a giveaway. Yahoo! And folks, that last week I announced the winners of my giveaway. I have been a little scattered with my son's graduation, Blake's graduation, so I am going to the post office in the next couple of days, and I will get everything mailed. So if it hasn't gotten to you, it's because of me. I'm the lazy loafer. I'm the slacker. I'm sorry. I just have, again, been a little scattered and a little emotional about Blake's graduation. So just wanted to make sure everything was right for him, but I will get it out to you. So, did a random number picker. You know, in my neck of the woods who the random number picker is. It is Mr. Marlon Daniels. He literally cut up 81 numbers and put them in a hat. What is the winner going to get this week, folks? Citrus Spritzer Paddywaxx. I'm telling you, when I get done with my other bar of Paddywaxx, I'm going to start this. It's one of my favorites. It smells so good. It's kind of like a grapefruity, vanilla-y. I don't know. It's awesome. And this is from Distracted by Diamonds and Paddywaxx. And you're also going to get super sticky Paddywaxx. I don't know if you've been on Robin's site. You can't find anything these days. So again, unless you're right on there when she posts something. But the person that wins is going to get both of these, and I will mail it out, I promise, in the next couple of days. So who is my weekly winner? Let's see. Marlon picked the number. It is Lori Moreau. Lori Moreau from Colorado, one of my favorite states. I will be sending you this door prize for our weekly giveaway. Yay, Lori. So exciting. All righty. That is what I've got for you today, guys. I've enjoyed talking to you about people in my life that have inspired me, teachers that have inspired me especially, and thank you for joining me. And if you are just joining me and just discovering the channel and feel like you could watch a few more WIP and Chats, unboxings, I'm going to do some unboxings. I'm going to do some coloring coming up. Again, with Blake's graduation, I had well-laid plans and they were kind of foiled because I was just emotional about his graduation and wanting things to be right for him. But if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not already, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe. I always like more friends, absolutely, to join us. Everyone is welcome. All right, before I leave you, I'm going to remind you, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. This is the Principal Painter, and I am signing off.